Hey, what is up, guys? It is Chris from the WWFu Internetwork, here again with a brand new podcast type video for you guys. This is definitely something new, something I kind of just started wanting to do. I didn't really know how badly I wanted to do it until recently, and this series is called WWFu Reviews. Basically, in these kind of videos, I'm going to be reviewing pro wrestling shows from every single company: WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, PWG, CHIKARA, everything. I just feel this will help wrestling fans know what to watch, what not to watch, stuff like that. So I guess let's just jump right into the series with a CHIKARA show. And this was actually the second CHIKARA iPPV that took place on June 2nd, this past weekend, and it is called Chikarasaurus Rex: How to Hatch a Dinosaur. And I'm going to be making a bold statement right here. I feel this is show of the year so far, and we're about 6 months into the year. We're at the halfway point, and I feel so far this is show of the year from pro wrestling in general. Up there with this show is Extreme Rules and PWG DDT4, but I feel this show is show of the year so far. And I absolutely love this show, enjoyed it a lot, so let's get right to this review. In the opening match, we had UltraMantis Black taking on Ophidian. And UltraMantis Black, of course, was ridiculously over because he's that CHIKARA original that everyone loves, and Ophidian is basically your textbook heel that everyone hates, and it's a perfect matchup. And these two definitely delivered a very good opener for the Philadelphia crowd. I personally enjoyed watching it. They definitely just, two well-rounded wrestlers going at it. Who's going to complain about that? Overall, a very well done match. I gave it 3 1/4. The finish came when UltraMantis Black would actually hit the praying mantis bomb on Ophidian. And overall, a very, very good match. I personally enjoyed it. So the next match we had Colt, Cabana, and Mixed Martial Archie, a.k.a. Archibald Peck, taking on the Throwbacks, a.k.a. Dasher Hatfield and Mr. Touchdown. Now, a lot of you may, if you guys watch CHIKARA, may know the history between Archie and Mr. Touchdown. Mr. Touchdown is attracting a lot of attention from Archie's valet, Veronica, and that basically started the entire feud. And Colt Cabana was thrown in the mix, and Dasher Hatfield was thrown in the mix, and this overall was a very good match. And not such a good match for the reason of awesome wrestling, just because it was entertaining and the storyline progression was very significant here. One spot I popped huge for was Archie, Mixed Martial Archie, left and came back as Archibald Peck. I marked for that. I was like, this is perfect. This is definitely how it should have been done. I loved it. It was great. It was definitely a good tag team match. I enjoyed it. And basically, this definitely added more fuel to the fire storyline-wise, the way it ended with Mr. Touchdown using his helmet to get the win with a roll-up. So I definitely feel this isn't the end of the Mr. Touchdown Archibald Peck feud. I feel this is only the beginning. But I gave this match 3 stars. Next, we had Gran Akuma taking on Icarus in a ladder match. Basically, what was on the line here was Gran Akuma's re-signing with CHIKARA. His contract was above the ring, and basically, if Gran Akuma won, he would be back in CHIKARA. If Icarus won, he could rip up the contract, and Gran Akuma could never compete in CHIKARA again. And basically, the feud from this came with a stable known as Fist. This consists of Chuck Taylor, Johnny Gargano, Icarus, and formerly Gran Akuma. But Gran Akuma was kicked out of the group, and now him and Icarus have a feud going on. And basically to the point where if Gran Akuma loses, he loses his CHIKARA contract. And this was a solid match. I personally enjoyed it. It was, in a way, very different from what CHIKARA does. This was kind of a hard-hitting match. CHIKARA never really does that. CHIKARA is a very friendly company. They do put on great wrestling, but they kind of keep it, try to keep it almost PG to an extent. So they don't really do tons of violent matches. But this was definitely something different from CHIKARA. Using the ladder, using a table. It was definitely an entertaining match and something different for CHIKARA fans. And it went over really well with the crowd. The crowd was ridiculously into it. I was into it. I actually became a very big Gran Akuma fan from this match. I personally enjoyed his work a lot. And Gran Akuma would end up winning after he basically slammed Icarus through the table that was set just below the ladder. Gran Akuma climbed up and got his contract back, and he's now back in CHIKARA. Next, we had a mixed tag team match, or an intergender tag team match, handicap tag team match, as a matter of fact, between Sara Del Rey and Saturyne taking on Obariyon, Kodama, and Kobald, aka the Batiri. This was a very weird match. This was definitely the worst match of the night. I personally didn't enjoy that much. I did really enjoy Obariyon and Kodama. They were a really good tag team, the Batiri. I actually saw them at the NYWC Fusion show, and they were really, really good. And they definitely impressed me with this. They're showing here. And of course, Sara Del Rey's awesome. Saturyne definitely improved. They did a couple of spots. But the way it ended in DQ. But because of Delirious ran out and basically almost gave a blessing to the Batiri. He went and kissed all three of their foreheads, and it was very weird. It kind of was just like, I wonder where this is going. So yet again, a good match for storyline progression itself. I gave it 2.5 stars. Next, we had a mask versus hair match between Hallowicked and Tim Donst. This is where the show started picking up big time. This match was really, really well done. The storytelling here was at an all-time high. This was definitely the match of the night storytelling-wise. I love this match. And, the wrestling was on par. Hallowicked, was ridiculously over with the crowd. Tim Donst, no one wanted him to win. And initially, Tim Donst won because he got Hallowicked into a hold and he used a shoelace. And CHIKARA has a rule: you cannot use foreign objects. It is illegal. You will be disqualified if you do. The ref did not see it. So, to add ultimate drama to this match in the end, they had Hallowicked sitting on a chair, about to take off his mask, when suddenly Tim Donst raised his hand and dropped the shoelace. The crowd went nuts. The ref saw it and demanded the instant restart of the match, and Hallowicked would pick up the victory using the From Dusk Till Donst. Well, that's how Tim Donst won. I was just reading it here. So Hallowicked won, and it was absolutely awesome. This was a great match. 3.5 stars. I personally enjoyed it for the drama itself. I was just very into this match. This is where I basically was like, this match has a lot of potential. I just gotta see how the other two matches are. And the other two matches, of course, delivered. So next we had a 10-man tag team war. We had Eddie Kingston, Mike Quackenbush, Jigsaw, SoldierANT, and GreenANT taking on the stable known as GEKIDO, which consists of the Shard, assailANT, Combat, Deviant, and 17. This was insane. Well, first off, let's just get this out of the way. FireANT would be replaced by Mike Quackenbush. GEKIDO would get to FireANT and attack him before the show. And basically, these guys came out and destroyed each other, to say the least. I loved this match. It was awesome. There were spots everywhere. The only complaint I have about this match was the time. It had a 9-minute and 24-second match. That was it. I kind of feel it was very, very rushed, if you know what I mean. I feel they should have been given more time. That's not a huge deal, because otherwise the match definitely delivered. I'm starting to get very into the GEKIDO stable. I'm really starting to enjoy them. I love what they're doing with the anti-ants type deal. And it's very, very good. I personally enjoyed it a lot. And this match ended, I think when GreenANT or SoldierANT hit the CHIKARA special on 17, and it was just great. 3 3/4, great match. Next, we had the main event here, and this is where I want to go on a slight rant. This is why I love independent wrestling. The title match's main event. WWE, we do not care about John Cena taking on Big Show. We care about your champions, and this is how you end a show. With your, the CHIKARA Champions de Parejas match between Fist and the Young Bucks. And basically, this is the tag team title match, and it was awesome. 2 out of 3 falls. Everyone was very behind Fist in this crowd, but Young Bucks, ultimate heels, heel, textbook heels. They were working the crowd. Everyone hated the Young Bucks except for a couple of guys in the crowd, but that was about it. So basically, the first fall happened when Matt Jackson hit the lung blower on Johnny Gargano everyone in the crowd was going crazy. They were like, no, 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 this can't happen. And then a couple of minutes later, Chuck Taylor hit a cradle on Nick Jackson, and everyone went nuts again. And basically, every time someone hit a fall, the crowd they popped. And I was really into this match. This probably wasn't my favorite match on the card, but I did enjoy it. And then, of course, Matt and Nick Jackson would win the match, hitting the more bang for your buck finisher. And this was a solid, solid match. It wasn't my favorite match. I think the match previous to that definitely took the cake for my favorite match on the card. But this was a very, very good showing by both teams. I think Fist has a very, very good future in CHIKARA. I feel they're going to do big things. The Young Bucks, of course, have been there, done that. They've done everything in independent wrestling now. And this was definitely a very good match, a good showing by both teams, and that's why I gave it 4 1/4. Overall, I give this show 8.75. This show was so easy to sit through. I had no problem sitting through it, and it ran so smoothly. CHIKARA, I have to applaud you for actually using Go Fight Live correctly. Ring of Honor always had problems with Go Fight Live. They couldn't appropriately stream everything. And now CHIKARA did it correctly. They showed that, it wasn't Go Fight Live screwing up. It was Ring of Honor. And overall, a fantastic show. I'm looking forward to King of Trios. I think that show is going to be awesome as well. So guys, thank you for listening. Please do subscribe, follow me on Twitter, do all that stuff, and thanks for listening. Peace.